RISEUP Paranormal is back in Marlborough, Massachusetts. They're investigating the historic Peter Rice Homestead. It's the paranormal truth, and it's happening right now.
Actually, Cody, if you take that camera, right, we'll just stick it on that table.
Okay. With locations such as the Payne House and Smith's Castle checked off the RISEUP Paranormal list of haunted places visited, the Peter Rice Homestead in Marlborough, Massachusetts was a no-brainer to add to it. Built in 1688, this historic home has ties to one of the original 6 founding families of Marlborough.
Peter Rice Homestead is one of those places that we love going to because, first of all, the age of the place and all the history behind it. We love going to new places, particularly places that maybe have not been investigated before because we don't have any preconceived ideas of what could be there or what's not there. And then when you read up a little bit on this and you learn a little bit about them, you say, wow, this was like a really significant figure in that time in this country.
Currently, this home is the headquarters to the Marlborough Historical Society. It also houses a collection of donations, mostly from Marlborough residents throughout the years. Some very cool, interesting, and downright weird.
Okay, electricity.
The activity reported here are voices, shadows, and the presence and touch, if you are lucky, of Sophronia Russell. This was her bedroom her entire life. She was born here and died in this room. Ken decided to shake up this investigation, so there would only be one crew in the house investigating per session, and home base would be left unmanned. Vinny, who we haven't seen since the first episode, and non-pirate Chris were the first to enter.
Alright, so this is going to go off when we walk. But if we're standing still, it'll be fine. So this this device that we use here, basically if someone comes up and there's like some type of vibrations or tapping, this will pick it up. So sometimes when a ghost manifests, if we're doing an EVP session, we just try to ask them, you know, can you knock once for yes, twice for no, or twice for yes, once for no, depending on the EVP session. So if you were to tap, it would go. So sometimes if we'll ask them to just do knocking on something, and then that will make that device go off.
Yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna leave mine over there.
That's what I would do. Leave another one stationary.
Yeah. Right over here. All right.
I wish we could open up these cases.
It's probably why this.
The dolls in there?
They're
Oh,
creepy
they're
looking.
creepy. Do you see the little old lady? I'm gonna be seeing her in my dreams tonight. Okay, well, this is Chris, and my name is Vin, and Dan, and I'm sorry. Emma. If anyone's here that would like to talk to us, we have some recording devices and cameras, and we'd like to talk to you. There's a lot of history about this place, and we'd be interested to know if you're here with us.
You know, this is my first time here. I've been to Marlborough before, but I haven't been to this exact location. And Vinny was kind enough to introduce us so that you know who's here, who's around, and who's in your house. But unfortunately, we weren't able to hear your name. So, what's your name? If you can, this little device right over here, it's on this pillow. If you can go into that right up next to it and just tell us your name, and tell us how old you are, that'd be great.
And it might be a lot to take in because you've never seen any of this, and from what we understand, no one's ever brought this type of equipment here. So we totally understand if it's a little overwhelming. But by no means are we trying to hurt you or anything. We want to understand more about this place and you, whoever's here. I don't know if that was them outside, but just mock audio.
So that was one tap in the next room. Did you do that? If that was you, can you do it one more time?
I was just thinking, if you want to stay here, I'm going to move in there for a minute because maybe it's just too many people in one room. If there is someone like watching.
Yeah.
So I get the feeling they might want to do something, but I'm just going to step over here and we'll see if that light goes off for Chris. Looks like we got some creepy dresses in here. And of course the dolls.
So now there's two of us in this room. Two of them left this room. I know that the shorter guy might be a little scary because of his mustache. It's okay, he's harmless. If that was you before, can you tap this suitcase twice to let me know that it was you?
All right, so we definitely got some history in this room. That's cool. Stefania, if you're here with us, we just would like to learn a little bit more about you and say hello. It sounds like you spent a good part of your life here. It's a very nice house, by the way.
Besides one noise that may or may not have been something, not much was going on here on the second floor, so Vin and Chris headed up to the attic.
Is there anybody up here with us? Possibly attached to something they've stored in the attic? Personal belongings, or maybe you worked at a general store and there's looks like a lot of cans and stuff. Very old pieces. Some tools. We just would like to talk to you. See if you could give us any information about the residents.
So there's a lot of things that are stored up here. You know, this building is owned by the Historical Society, and a lot of things are downstairs and they're displayed and prominent so people can see them. Visitors that are coming here can look at these items and learn a little bit about the history. Maybe not about the specific item, but about the town, about the period. So, if there's anyone that's up here with us, is anything that's up here yours? And if so, what is it? Would you like us to make it known to the people who run the Historical Society? They can bring it downstairs. If you want something showcased, if you want people to see your item, just let us know what it is. And they'll bring it down for you. And they'll display it. But all you have to do is just tell us what it is, or maybe where it is. Vin, you want to wrap it up?
Yeah, I'm not getting anything.
So what we're going to do now is we're going to go back downstairs. We're going to go outside. And a few more of our friends are going to come up here and through the house and try and talk to you as well.
Ken and Cody would take the second investigation here at the Peter Rice Homestead. They were also able to pry Pirate Chris out of the basement where he was metal detecting.
Okay, they have said that there is shadow play in this room, so I am going to set a trap cam here. We're going to investigate this room, but on our way out, when we leave, I'm going to activate that to see if anything triggers it. As we already have a stationary camera in this room, so we'll have this covered because we want to make sure whatever they see for shadows has nothing to do with the cars. It has nothing to do with anybody outside or anything like that. Hi, everyone. My name is Ken. I'm here with some friends. This is Cody and Chris.
Hello.
Very nice to be here in the Rice Homestead. This is our first visit. So we would like to extend our friendship to you. We thank you very much for allowing us to be guests in your home tonight. So we're here basically to try to speak to you and try to get some kind of insight into the people who lived here, the Rice family, perhaps anybody who came after them. What we wanted to do tonight is give you the opportunity to send a message if you want to be able to talk to us. If you can do that, we'll be able to hear you. Or if you just want to show that you're here and you're still a part of the house and you're still watching over things. So that's why we're here. We're here for you tonight. So if there's anyone present who'd like to say hello, please do so now.
You know, I know this is probably very new to you, having people come out and communicate with you. Perhaps you don't know how to communicate with us. And, you know, we're going to be here for a while. And all we ask is try some new things. Even if you think it won't work, we have a lot of devices around that are only here to help us communicate with you. Feel free to move things, make noises.
Peter or Rebecca Rice, are you still here in your home? It would be a great pleasure to meet you. I know you had a very, very big family. I'm sure family was very important to you. If any of your children are here in spirit, they're also welcome. Come and join us here. I want to go up to Sophronia's room.
I think that's a good plan.
Okay, I'm going to let the trap cam run, and we'll pop up one floor.
They left the newer dog, currently unnamed, and the 3D capture, which shoots out hundreds of IR lasers, and that is why Chris has looked like TV reception from the 1960s.
What a amazing room. This is the type of room that you would love to spend a lot of time in.
Hello, Sophronia. How are you, sweetheart?
Yeah. And if we're saying your name wrong, please let us know how you would say your name and we can correct ourselves.
Mark audio. Somebody just whisper? Negative.
Negative.
All right, 18 minutes even.
Sophronia, how are you this evening? Thank you so much for having us here. I hope that we're not intruding. I hope we're not a bother. We came to see you tonight. Are you aware of the people who come in and out of here? Do you try to make contact with them? You ever try to touch somebody, to reach out and feel for them, let them know you're here? Because I want you to feel free to do that with any of us. If you'd like to say something and speak to us, you are more than welcome.
Is there someone else up here with us?
Looking at that soldier's uniform they have on display downstairs reminded me that back in the World War II era, this home used to house a lot of the soldiers coming home. So is there any soldiers here? Thank you for your service.
Do you have a sense of us in any way? If I could ask, I know that you didn't have your sight, but can you see now? Do you have sight now? You want to head that way, Chris?
Yeah, I think this is where the schoolhouse is. A few times I've heard some small knocks, but it's tough to tell because every time I moved.
I'm going to move through the house. If you'd like to join us, feel free.
Now this makes me feel at home.
Chris here is a teacher.
Yeah, I'm a teacher.
There you go.
This makes me feel at home.
Is there anything on display here that's particularly significant to you? Oop. Funhouse effect.
I know.
I'm looking around, there's dolls. You have some taxidermy in here. Pheasant, owl. Is there anything in here that's significant to anyone who lived here?
What was that?
What was what?
Underneath that there was a
Not I.
right? Is that what you're talking about? Because I heard the but
Right. No, there was a...
All right, mark it.
The bang 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 was
you.
me.
Yeah, well, that's why I want to kind of come away from those things because they just keep rattling.
But there
along.
was something on top of it or with it.
I don't know what the significance of all the swords here are, if it's just, you know.
They look like parade swords.
More than likely.
If I looked closer, I could tell.
Decorative, kind of like a ceremonial parade.
Yeah. It's...
Pretty cool, though.
These are all
I
parade
think
swords.
that's a 7-iron right there.
Yeah, I
Nope.
know. This is like a pirate. Oh my god.
What was that, Chris?
Nothing?
Now, the dolls here, and I don't know. I think what you got here is a lot of things because this is the home of the Historic Society, right?
Yeah, it's just all donations.
So they incorporate, you know, a lot of artifacts in here. So they're not necessarily attached to anybody
Yeah.
who lives here.
Do you see this room the way we see it? We see it as a schoolhouse with a bunch of school benches and a teacher's podium and a chalkboard. Do you see this room that way?
Or do you see it as a bedroom? I read this was once originally was a bedroom, used for bedding, and I get when the soldiers were here, a few beds were in this room.
Have to be, I agree. Does the house look a great deal different than it used to? I can imagine it would, but I just like to pose that question.
How about trying once, just yelling your name as loud as you can? Just once. We got so many ways to try to hear you that you'll be surprised. We'll probably be able to hear your name. Even if you think we can't hear it, yell it as loud as you can.
I think I heard a little something weird.
Market?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right before you talked last time, Chris, when you asked.
Okay.
You know the name? I'm not sure if I heard her name, but I heard something a little strange.
What is the whistling?
That's what I'm hearing.
I'm also hearing some banging over here.
It's very, I'm picking it up very, very faint.
I think we're hearing you. And it's getting clearer, so maybe you're trying and trying. Maybe it's getting better.
Immediately after the second session, Cody got to work listening to the potential EVPs he heard during the investigation.
I think I may have gotten what sounds like a whisper when we were down here on the first floor. Not really sure though. Can't really tell until we analyze the recording, but it sounds definitely something we should check out.
As he continued to listen, Cody heard some whistling from that session. He called in Ken to take a listen.
Yeah, here it is again. Wait a minute.
The whistling second time.
Right, and then that's when you say. Rewind it again.
What is the whistling? That's the first time.
Yeah. Yeah, this second time.
See, that's tuneful. And I'm saying it's like when you're like, you know, wind blowing through the windows and stuff like that, you gotta come into
Right.
I mean, there's like notes, there's octaves.
Right, it's actually
Musical.
changing pitch.
It wasn't coming from where I was standing, because I didn't hear it.
Yeah, I think it was.
I couldn't tell you where it was coming from.
I know it's not coming from where I was, so it had to be at least that.
I think it was by the chalkboard area, because the first time my back was kind of this way towards it, and I didn't really get it that loud, but then I turned, and I got it louder, so I think it was right over there.
We know it's audible, so you're gonna have your spikes,
Right.
but I wanna listen to it in the sound spectrum.
Yeah, there's also one more clip that I have when we were downstairs that we're definitely going to want to put through that software.
Yep.
It sounds like, to me it sounds like it's definitely some sort of whisper. Whether it is a whisper or not, I think, well, I'll just let you listen to it.
First floor?
Yeah, right over here, in the room with the shadows there.
Yep.
Kind of quick and faint. Let me rewind it again.
All right.
It's a tough one.
Right there.
The only thing that I'm gonna say is that stepping on a board or somebody's stepping on a board at the same time, so I don't know if the whisper is actually
A whisper.
the compression
Right.
of the board itself. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That would be my only thing.
Right.
When Ken listens to that whisper in the spectrograph, the floor creak will have its own signature. That will allow him to see if there is a difference between the two.
So we decided to come back up here. Now we changed it up a little bit. Vinny and I are back again. and Cody from the other team, the group that was up here after us. We wanted to come up here. We wanted to talk to you. That's this floorboard over here. We wanted to talk to you a little bit. So, when they were over here, Chris had asked a question for you, and we heard a faint whistle. It was almost like a buildup. It went something like this. I'm going to do a recreation. And then behind it, you can hear almost like a making up. Can you do that again for us? Can you try doing that again?
Just for the heck of it, I'm going to point my mics to this window here to make sure there's no draft or anything.
Just want to document real quick. There was just a car going by with a loud muffler, so it's still going.
Yeah, there's nothing. Nothing at all. Something just fall or something?
Why would you hear?
Sounded like something fell over. I'm seeing him.
So, like I said, we hope that you don't mind that we're here tonight. But if we're bothering you, if you don't want us here, all you have to do is let us know. We'll leave. We're pretty respectful.
Just came to talk to you. That's why we're here. 100% attention to you. I'm sure that doesn't happen too often.
Especially at night. We know that the staff's only here Tuesdays and Thursdays for 3 hours each day. That's it. So anything else is just, a little bit extra, but this place isn't occupied that much. Is this one of those rope beds?
Probably. If it's still original.
Oh, it doesn't look like it's
Yeah,
sagging.
it is.
It is on
Yep.
the bottom.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yep, it's a rope bed.
Wow.
I would fall through this.
People were
Yeah.
smaller back then.
Yeah, oh yeah, they weren't built like me.
Wait a minute. You guys hear that?
No.
Oh, like somebody's coming up the stairs.
That?
Yeah.
See, I didn't know if it was you moving, but I did hear something.
Come upstairs if that's you.
If you want.
It's okay, we just want to talk.
Behold, alas, our days we spend, how vain they be, how soon they end. Life and death.
That's Cherry.
By Otis Russell, age 19?
Wow.
Jeez. Otis, you're a very dark soul. Written at Marlborough, March 1813. Now, do you know Otis? Or is Otis here?
The third session came to a quiet end. RISEUP would go through the Peter Rice Homestead one more time before calling it a night. That had Ken and the two Chris's up on the second floor.
All right. EVP session, we got a recorder there. Let's put one toward the front of the room. Okay, hello again to whoever's here. We just wanted to come by and say goodnight, actually. We're going to be leaving very, very shortly. We want to thank you for your hospitality and your kindness in having us here tonight. I hope at some point we may be able to return and maybe meet and talk to some of the people who take care of the house. So, there might have been a couple of occasions tonight where we've been able to hear you. I wouldn't say we've been able to communicate with you, but that's your choice. But I just want to know, I want you to know that anyone's welcome to talk to us. And you really are safe with us. Whether this is a gentleman, a lady, a child, whoever might be here. So before we leave tonight, maybe you'd like to say goodnight. I think it's been pretty clear what we're after. Another question I'd like to ask is if you remain here or you come and go. If you remain here, can you make a sound or something to let me know? Are you grounded here? Do you stay in this building? Give me a sound. Give me something. All right, do you visit? Do you come and go? I've got a couple of things out here right now. If you can see me, they're right in front of me. If you interact with them or they pick up any of the energy that you have, they'll illuminate, numbers will change, some different things. I'm just going to leave those there. Do you approve with what's been done to the house? Anything you'd like to see changed? Hello? Just ran into the mannequin. Even though I've been in there 5 times, I just saw the mannequin. And for a second I was like, I'm better now. Well, again, our time here is running short. Are we welcome to come back at some point? Did you enjoy our company?
We go to a lot of places, and you know we've done over 500 places, and some places you go and it's just a dark room and you don't really feel anything. But here, you got that feeling like we may actually get something. We may get a response, and I don't know how to explain it because it's, you know, everyone says, you know, you walk in a dark room and feel like someone's watching you. You know, you lose that feeling after a bunch of these investigations, but every once in a while it comes back, and today it's kind of there. It's feeling like something is going to happen. We'll see.
Upon further review, Ken came up with a few pieces of evidence that he found to be interesting. This is a voice I caught on my camera. I felt like it may be a humming or singing. To Ken's professional ears, it sounds like a statement. What is the statement? No clue. So we're leaving it up to you, the viewer. You tell us. The next piece is a prime example of getting voices on a recorder, which you don't hear in the moment. This is on my camera again. I thought Vin and Chris were coming up the front stairs for their investigation. They didn't, so I stopped recording. What I didn't realize is that there was a voice at the end that got cut off. I sent this to Ken for analysis. He knows it was not any of us there. It's hard to figure out what was said too because of it getting cut off at the end. Don't worry, Pirate Chris already gave me crap for it. While analyzing this, Ken found a whistle before the voice. So that is a whistle earlier in the night, right in the doorway of the schoolroom, which is where Cody caught whistling.
What is the whistling?
That's what I'm hearing.
What is the whistling?
That's what I'm hearing.
What is the whistling?
That's what I'm hearing.
The last piece of evidence is pretty creepy. Ken had gone upstairs to set up a remote recorder. He headed back downstairs, and that is when he caught this. It's a male voice, that much we know. Ken said he can make out two words at the end, the house. Once again, we're leaving it up to you, the viewers. RISEUP is on record as saying that they are very interested in coming back here to the Peter Rice Homestead for another investigation. So, Marlborough Historical Society, the ball's in your court. I'm Dan Ginden, and I've been seeking out the paranormal truth.